So everybody, let's hear it for Cory Doctorow.
Thank you, John, and thank you everyone for coming tonight and for supporting EFF Austin. So, for about 10 years now, I've been standing up in front of groups like you and saying, we need to make sure that copyright doesn't go off the rails, because it's really important that we all be allowed to contribute to the discourse and we all be allowed to make things. And then it kind of sucks that the stuff that's kind of floating around out there that we care about is being locked up and all the rest of it. And I think it's time to stop talking about it that way. Because I think the problem with the copyright wars the major problem anyway, isn't just that we're having access to knowledge restricted, access to culture and cultural production restricted. That's kind of just a sideshow that people like you and me, who are kind of creatives, we make stuff for a living, we like culture, that we care about disproportionately. But the real casualty of war in the copy fight is not the creative arts. The real thing that's happening in the copyright war is that everything that we do together is on the line, because everything that we do together we do on the internet today. It's all being done on the internet, whether that's voting, whether that's organizing political campaigns, whether that's staying in touch with your family, whether that's getting better health care, whether that's getting better nutrition, whether that's getting better information about how to build a garden shed or build a biodiesel factory. All of that stuff happens on the internet. And the problem with talking about this as though we're a fight about culture is that it makes people say, well, you want to remix Mickey Mouse, Disney doesn't want you to remix Mickey Mouse, why should I give a shit? And the reason that we all need to care about this is that your capacity to go on using the network that we use for everything hinges on what arises from a regulatory fight that is treating the most powerful medium that we've ever had as though it were just a way to get Police Academy sequels for free. So, here's an example. In the United Kingdom where I live, we've just passed a law called the Digital Economy Act. Among the many terrible provisions in the Digital Economy Act is something called the 3 strikes rule that says if you are accused of 3 acts of copyright infringement without a trial, without conviction, we take away your internet access for a year. We tell other ISPs they're not allowed to connect you. Right? So that sounds, if this were just a way to get Police Academy sequels, that would be kind of the punishment fitting the crime. But it's not. Right? Because, first of all, there's no way you can take away one person's internet access. When you take away internet access from a household, you take it away from everybody who lives there. It's collective punishment. There's a reason the Geneva Conventions prohibit it. It's not good for democratic society to punish one person for something another person has done. But moreover, the consequences of this is that because we are all of us always violating copyright law because it's expanded to cover a bunch of things that are just normal and everyday, because everything we do on the internet involves making so many copies, we're all of us vulnerable to having our network connections taken away. And that means that our capacity to engage with our fellow person, to get involved in civics and politics, to get involved in our kids' schools. I'm an expatriate. The way that my kid sees her grandparents is over Skype. All of that stuff is what we're able to do because of the internet. So you have companies like Viacom saying that YouTube should be held responsible for all the infringing material that goes online because they should have the affirmative duty to first have a lawyer inspect everything that goes on YouTube before it gets posted and goes live, and to make sure that it doesn't infringe on copyright. Well, leaving aside that this constitutes full employment for copyright lawyers forever, there are just not enough lawyer hours remaining between now and the heat death of the universe for lawyers to vet 23 hours of video a minute, which is what's being uploaded to YouTube right now. The only way that that would work is if YouTube throttled its input. And the way that they would throttle their input is if it worked like cable television, right? If you want to put something on cable TV, your lawyers and their lawyers meet, and you make representations and warranties, and you indemnify them, they examine the material. And you may have not noticed it, but there aren't a lot of grassroots political campaigns with their own cable television shows. There aren't a lot of Little League soccer teams with their own cable television shows. There aren't a lot of people who have rare diseases trying to figure out how to make their quality of life better who have who have their own cable television shows. That's because those are not the kinds of institutions that have the organizational wherewithal to overcome the hurdles necessary to put a television show on cable. But they do have the organizational wherewithal to put material on YouTube, to start a blog, to create a Twitter feed, and so on. And so that's why we need to stop talking about this as though this was a problem about who got to make art and who didn't get to make art. You know, those of us who are like in the cultural creative class care about this stuff. Most people don't give a shit. Most people, though, do care and do think that this other stuff is important, and that's why I think we're going to win in the end once we start framing this the right way. Because every day that goes by, there's another person out there who realizes, I can't do my job without the internet. I can't take care of my kids without the internet. I can't keep in touch with my family without the internet. I can't change the issues that matter to me without the internet. And as those people start to realize that this isn't just a brush war over copyright and creativity, we'll start to win. So thank you all, and thank you for supporting EFF Austin.
EFF Austin is going to be fighting to affirm your freedom to connect to the internet and share data. So please track along with us, EFFaustin.org. Cory's website is craphound.com. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Maggie, do we have something we need to do?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for thanking people.
Okay. Well, again, I wanted to thank first our amazing friend Marla Camp of Edible Austin magazine. Marla's a force of nature, and what I love about her is that she really gets what's happening. And she has coordinated with us on several events now, and tonight, because she gets the local theme and stay local, she brought in Somnios Café. That's some incredible food, all natural. And would you, Jake?
Yes.
Could you come up for a minute and talk about Somnios? Just want everyone to hear about you.
Yeah. Go Jay!